Hey guys, it's your girl Ray. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on some post notifications and drop some suggestions down below. So basically this video is going to be about me telling you guys why I decided to relaunch and rebrand my business, because I did at one point start selling hair for my hair extensions company, and I decided to put a stop to it, just to do some behind the scenes work that I thought was necessary. So basically I'm gonna go over those reasons why I did that, and from this point on I will be dropping weekly videos on my business. I will take you guys on the journey of growth with me, so that you guys could get all the behind the scene things that basically I do with my business. So I hope you guys are ready to grow with me and just go on the journey, like just be there. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into this video and we're gonna go over some of these things that I have written down. So one of my very first things that I felt, one of the very first reasons that I felt I needed to do a rebrand and a relaunch for my business was professionalism. I'm very big on like people being professional and just making sure that people understand that it is a professional environment or whatever. So basically I just felt when I first started my business, I didn't actually have a website, even though I knew about Big Cartel, I knew about Wix, and what is the other one? I can't remember right now. But I knew that I could go online and make a website myself. Now, I don't really know how to explain it. Like I guess I'm just not one of the people that wanted to build my own website. Even now I did not want to build my own website. In the midst of everything, like since I have relaunched, I have made my own website, and I just don't feel is as professional as a professional person that is dedicated to building websites or creating websites, doing one. So me personally, like I understand like it's easy when you're starting off that you can build your own website, but in my personal opinion, I just did not think that I wanted my website to look as if I built it, if that makes sense. So I felt like it was a professional thing for me to make sure I had a website. It gives people a sense of security when they're trying to place an order with you. They can go on a website and figure out most of the information rather than me selling my hair like through their DM or Facebook Messenger or something like that, because essentially that's exactly how I was selling my hair at the time. Which, I mean, I never really got complaints about it, but it was just something on my end that I felt like I didn't want to keep going forward with. So that was definitely one of my number one things. I definitely wanted my website to look more professional, and not my website because I didn't have a website. I just wanted my hair extension company to be more professional when it came to people ordering and people being able to, you know, feel that sense of security, because I definitely have to have that sense of security when I'm shopping with somebody, especially when it comes to hair, because, you know, it can be very pricey. So yeah, and that kind of goes into my reason number two. I also feel like reason number two was boundaries. And I was watching this video of this girl that I did a lash extensions class with recently, and she was basically just saying like that when it comes to business, people don't really understand, like when it comes to the entrepreneur world, people don't understand that business does have boundaries. Just because we're entrepreneurs, people feel like we have to answer them back right away, and we don't have a life outside of what we do or what the services that we offer, or, you know. So basically, at one point in time, when I first started selling my hair, it was like people were inboxing me, asking me questions all the time, no matter what time it was. At one point I did a drop off, and because they were in a rush, I had to be in a rush, and it was like the blame was on me because they were trying to get their hair as soon as possible. when at the end of the day I'm still offering a service or a product to you, and it is still a business. So I just felt like with me making things more professional on my end, people would take it just as serious as I did, and understand that you can't put the blame on me for you not having your hair. First of all, when people order hair, you need to wait until you receive your hair to schedule a hair appointment. Do not, I repeat, do not schedule a hair appointment without having your hair in hand, because anything can happen. And once I ship out hair, or once I'm waiting for hair to be shipped to me, I don't know exactly the time frame that that's going to come in, you know what I mean? So you have to be, as a customer, you have to be prepared for, what do you call it, obstacles, just as well as I do. And that's the reason why, even with shipping, you give them a time frame. You don't give an exact date. You can give a time frame, 5 to 7 business days, 10 to 15 business days, whatever, but you're not going to give it an exact time frame, because after you give it to UPS or USPS or whoever you give it to, FedEx, DHL, whoever you give it to, at that point, you don't determine what happens with that package after that. So that was another big thing of mine, was the fact that customers felt that I was obligated to meet their timelines and time frames, and go out my way to make sure that they had their product after the fact that I did my part. So obviously there's other reasons tied into the boundaries part, but that was one of my main ones that I can think of at the moment, that really stood out to me, and that was like, yeah, no. So let me see, and then let me think. That also ties into my reason number 3, which was marketing. So with marketing, at the moment when I originally launched my business, I didn't have a ring light. I didn't have a ring light. I could make my own flyers, basically, in a way, but again, because I'm not skilled in that aspect of marketing, I just didn't feel like that was something that I just feel like it could have had a more polished look when it comes to marketing. And I didn't want it to look like it was just like something that was thrown together, you know what I mean? Like, I had a flyer that was made, and I paid like a rush fee to have it done as soon as possible, but you could tell the difference between a professional's flyer and my flyer. And for the most part, but then I wanted the high quality look, so I tried to do things myself, and then they didn't come out how I wanted to. So I'm like, okay, no, like, I have to go with somebody who is actually skilled to do this. It only made sense for me to have somebody skilled to do it, rather than me doing it myself, being frustrated, trying to figure out measurements. Because what y'all don't realize, even when it comes to YouTube, like, the measurements to make my banner, all of that stuff, oh my god, I was so frustrated trying to do it. But at the end of the day, I just feel like I'm one of the people. You have to also realize what type of person you are. You can either be one of those people who are like, okay, I can do everything myself. I'm gonna, you know, I can start building my website myself. I can make my flyers myself. I can do this myself. Or you're going to be one of those people who are going to say, hey, look, I'm going to invest and put the money into somebody who can do it for me, because that's just not something I want to do. And it's okay to be on whatever side of the fence that you want to be on, because I'm not going to tell you that go make this yourself and I can't make it myself, you know what I mean? Like, but that's just me. I just don't feel like, me personally, I wanted to make my flyers. I didn't want to make my website. I wanted it done, and I wanted it done professionally. I want it to look the same. I want all the colors to match each other. I wanted everything to be professionally done, and I still do. And those are still my plans moving forward, and that has not changed. Yeah, I just feel like I'm gonna have somebody else do it rather than me doing it. Jumping into reason number 4 was pre-orders. At the time when I first started selling my hair, I was taking pre-orders. Now what I did was I bought a big bulk of hair at one time, and I sold out of that hair. When I sold out of that hair, after that I never, first of all, let me say this, I did not have business discipline. This ties into this because this was another one of my bullet points. I definitely didn't have business discipline. When you first start a business, 100% of your money, whether it's profit, whether it's money going onto the product, whether it's money going towards the shipping, 100% of profit should go back into your business. And I did not understand that when I first started. I definitely didn't do as much research as I could have when it came to that part of business. I was more just focused on finding a quality vendor, and I lacked in the other areas of business because of that. Because it wasn't that I didn't want to do the research, but I didn't do the research. So I definitely feel like I should have put 100% back into my business at the time, and I didn't. And I'm going to be honest, like, I paid bills with my profit. I just moved into an apartment, so I was paying bills with my profit, probably buying food with my profit. There's no telling, but I definitely feel like that was a very big mistake of mine, because one, that did enable me to go ahead and repurchase a big bulk of hair, and it pushed me to do pre-orders. And pre-orders, honey, I would never be doing them again. I would say that for sure. One, I feel like there's nothing wrong with pre-orders. If that works for you, it works for you. Me personally, I just don't feel like it will work for me. One, because the city and state that I live in, there's a lot of people that post. We have multiple business pages where there's thousands and thousands of people like following them, or even just Facebook or Instagram, when someone posts and say, hey, who has hair on hand, you know, good quality hair, you are enabling yourself from potentially gaining a potential client or a customer, because you don't have hair on hand. You can't say that you have hair on hand. A lot of us are very last minute, and what business owners have to realize when it comes to pre-ordering is you are, like I said, enabling yourself to gain potential clientele, because you have to wait 3 or 4 days for you to receive your hair or your product, and then your client is waiting 3 or 4 days plus the days that you require for it to ship out to them. So it's just a lot when it comes to pre-order, dealing with the vendors more than I actually have to, and I don't know, like, I just didn't want to go through that. Moving forward, I don't want to go through that anymore. I want to have everything on hand, so as I'm ready to ship out, I can ship out. And if somebody needs hair in their last minute, like me, sometimes I can have that hair for you. I have it, you know, I have it on hand. There's nothing wrong with you placing an order last minute if you're in my state, or I mean, sorry, not my state, because I'm not driving that far away. But if you're in my city, then I'll drop it off to you because I have it on hand. It just makes it a lot more accessible to me as well as my clients or customers to have things on hand. Oh, back to the professionalism in the website thing. I also wanted to pinpoint the fact that when you do not have a website, you have to actually communicate with your customers to take orders. So say for instance, I was up, because a lot of people like me, I'm one of them people that shop very late at night. Like, when I'm bored at night, I'll get to scrolling, thinking about stuff that I want, and I'll start purchasing stuff. And if I don't have a website put up, a customer can't just go on my website and place an order. Most of the time, they're going to want to, if I don't have anything put up, they're going to want to communicate with me somehow, rather than just reading my flyer and Cash Apping me or Zelling me, Quick Cash, whatever. They're not just going to want to do that. They're going to want to communicate and say, hey, I need this and this and this. How long is shipping? They're going to probably want to ask questions because you don't have a website to give them that information. So I feel like I was also losing out on customers that way, because if someone is up late at night and they can't just place an order and they have to communicate with me, I might not always be accessible to communicate with you to take your order. So I was working a job at that time. I was definitely not allowed having my phone where I was working at to communicate with somebody right when they needed me to for them to place an order. So I was losing out on business because of that. So that was another reason. And then I bullet pointed expectations. Oh, my battery is getting ready to die. I hope it doesn't die. If it does, I'll switch to my phone. But I also pinpointed expectations because I feel like in the very beginning, my expectations for my business was like very, very out of range in the very beginning, because I felt like people had known me for wearing good hair, and people would come to me for questions that they had with their hair, or just hair in general. It was like a really easy topic for me to communicate with other people about and talk about. People would come to me about questions for how to do this, how to do that, what hair they should get for this. And it was just like, okay, at a certain point, I just feel like once I started hair, once I started selling hair, it was going to be like something that I was going to be able to get in and get out, get in and get out. And no, that's not exactly how it works. So one, I sell very good quality hair, great quality. And let me make this very, very clear, a little disclaimer. My vendor has not changed. There was nothing wrong with my vendor in the very beginning. Never had any customer complaints ever. Like, there was nothing wrong with my vendor. So before anybody gets the wrong idea about me stopping my business to find a new vendor, that's not the right idea over here, because my vendor was great. It still is. You know, I sell very good quality hair, and it doesn't come at a cheap price. And I feel like people thought because I did know a lot about hair, and because they knew me, because again, I didn't have a website, so most of my customers were coming from the city and state that I was in, like I'm known in, or I was raised in, whatever, however you want to put it. They're coming from where I'm from, you know what I mean? So I feel like because they knew me or had a relationship with me, that they thought because of that, it would get them, you know, discounted, whatever, however you want to put it. So with that being said, it didn't go as fast as I thought it was. Like what I expected it to do, it didn't do immediately for me. It happened over time. Like definitely when I first got my hair in, I kind of sat on my hair for I think a week or two before I made my first sale. And then as I advertised more and did a little bit more talking, people started asking me where my hair was from. That's when my actual customers started rolling in. Another thing you guys need to make sure you realize when it comes to business or starting a business is the fact that everybody you know is not going to be a customer. The people you expect to support you in your business is not going to be the people that support you in your business. You know what I mean? Like you can't. It's heartbreaking because you feel like when you start something, you expect the people that you know and that you care about to support you and root for you, or you know, advertise for you, whatever. And a lot of people think that when you say support, they have to buy something. No, not necessarily. A like, comment, share, subscribe is free. All that stuff is free. So it's you don't have to buy something to support someone, you know. So a lot of people don't get that, but it'll be the people that you expect the most to actually least support you. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I think for the most part, those were, everything kind of tied in together, but basically those were the reasons why I stopped my business. Not stop, but I put everything to a pause. I wanted to rebrand and relaunch. I have a lot of stuff coming in store, coming soon, so you guys just have to stay tuned for that. I will be dropping weekly videos on my business. In the meantime, I haven't just been sitting back doing nothing, I promise. I've been working on packaging. I've been working on my website. I've been working on photo shoots. I've been working on multiple different things for you guys to understand that my business is very, very important to me, as it should be to any one of my potential clients or customers. And yeah, I took some lash classes, so you guys, I've been a little bit busy, but not too busy. Yeah, so without further ado, make sure you guys drop some suggestions down below on what you think I should bring to you guys moving forward. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notification bells, because I promise you the weekly videos that I'm going to bring to my entrepreneuring, what do you want to call this series, it's going to be great content for anybody who's thinking about starting a business, who has a business, or anybody who just is interested in learning the ins and outs. Because at one point in time, that was me. I was just learning the ins and outs, and you know, that was just it. But now I'm here, and yeah, so I'm going to end this video right here because I don't have nothing else to say. And yeah, that's it. See you guys later.